Automobile sales have plunged. Let's talk about what's happening. I'm going to show you the number one car that's been selling, the number one make. We're going to talk about the money printers, the people that got caught trading at the Fed, and what's going on here with U.S. consumers as we continue to see this ultra manipulated economy still supported based on endless debt, money printing, market propping, and we see the money printers bent on inflation. So they're definitely getting inflation, especially when you look at automobile prices. And that's one of the reasons why sales dropped bigly. Let's take a look at this chart. And Wolf Richter gives us this chart from wolfstreet.com. That's his website. And it's interesting because we've never seen a pattern like this looking back in over 10 years. We see the huge drop off at the beginning of the sickness recession, the huge bounce once we came out of that. Car lots opened back up again, and we saw, of course, sales surge. And that was basically making up for all the time where people weren't out shopping for cars when the shutdown first began. But then we saw the chip shortage take effect, and supplies were depleted, and they still are depleted, causing prices to fall. Or, I'm sorry, causing sales to fall and prices to rise. Of course, sales fall when prices rise because less and less people can afford it. Maybe there are still people out there that are afraid of taking on a 72-month or an 84-month loan, which is insane. But that's what people have to do in many cases to be able to afford the payments on these high-priced vehicles. And we're going to tell you what's happening with the chip shortage here in a few minutes. But the number one selling vehicle in the month of September here in 2021 is Ford with 156,614 total sales. And we see that trucks and SUVs dominate, 83,000 plus for trucks, SUVs over 70,000, only 2,800 car sales. Another company that had a good quarter is Tesla. Tesla delivered a record number of cars, and they weren't as heavily affected by the chip shortage as some other companies. What happened with Tesla was Tesla's engineers wrote new firmware that allowed Tesla to sub in alternative chips. And other automobile manufacturers didn't do that or didn't have the capability of doing that. But because of the engineers being able to install new firmware on different chips than normally would have been used, it allowed Tesla to keep on pushing out inventory. And thus, Tesla posted a record third quarter sales. But overall, vehicle sales plunging. Prices are too high. There's not enough selection. There's a lot of people with uncertain incomes right now, to say the least. When prices are skyrocketing everywhere, people need to be cautious about going out and paying $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 for a new vehicle. And even used vehicles, prices are skyrocketing like we've never seen before. And sales are likely to continue to plunge unless we get more inventory out there for people to buy. And when we get more inventory, maybe prices will start coming back down. We'll have to see. But there's a lot of problems that need to get resolved to have inventory come back online, to get the chips supply caught back up to all the vehicles that need to be on the lots for sale. We have continued labor shortages, supply chain disruption, rising energy costs causing chaos with the cargo ships. We've got the sickness still out there. Regardless of what your thoughts are on the sickness, it is affecting manufacturing. And not just the sickness, but the fallout from the sickness, including hoops that people need to jump through to maintain their jobs, for lack of a better description. Okay, in just a minute or two, we're going to get caught up on the situation with the Fed presidents doing their own trading the stocks that the Fed was actively involved in purchasing. They're basically front-running the purchases of the institution of the Fed. But first, credit card balance transfers are back. When the shutdown first began, credit card balance transfers kind of dried up, right? Card companies were very uncertain. They didn't want to offer any balance transfers. They didn't know how things were going to unfold with everything else that's happened with the shutdowns. And then as rescue programs were implemented, things started opening back up. Some jobs started to come back. Well, here we are. And 0% balance transfer offers are back, and it's much needed because people are running up credit card debt and spending now faster than since before the Great Recession, 2007, 2008, and that's typically what happens before the bubble bursts, right? I'm not saying it's going to burst next week, next month, but typically you see big run-ups in debt before the bubble bursts, and we are seeing big run-ups in debt right now. We talked about that just a few episodes ago. So especially now, 0% balance transfers are needed by the U.S. consumers. All right, now let's talk about the money printers who were basically caught trading the stocks that the Fed was buying. Out of Yahoo Finance here, the Fed asks for independent review of whether top officials broke the law in their trading activity. All right, so first of all, the Fed came out and they said, oh, we're going to investigate ourselves. Now, wouldn't that be nice if you got accused of committing a crime and you could say, oh, I'm going to investigate myself. We don't need any investigators, no police. No, thank you. I'm going to investigate myself. So they took a lot of heat for that. So now it comes out here today, actually yesterday, but here that they're going to have an independent review of whether top officials broke the law in their trading activity. Can any of us guess what the review is going to find? And I wonder what the price tag is going to be for whoever is going to do this independent review. What is their price tag going to be to find no wrongdoing? And no matter what the price tag is, if you're printing the money, if you're the one printing the money, you can pretty much afford to pay it. So that tells you what's going to happen with this quote-unquote independent review for these people doing these trading, including this man right here. Right, Mr. Powell right here, and people like him, they're perpetrating the biggest scam that's ever been seen on the people. Right, they get to print as much money as they want. They get to trade the stocks that they know are going to be bought by the endless money printer. They get to pay for an independent review of any wrongdoing, and guess what? Everybody has a price tag, so no one's going to get in trouble. It's going to continue. While the American people are too busy worrying about football and pointing at each other for who's making who sick, this will continue. The financial scam will continue. The working class will continue to pay a bigger and bigger portion of their paycheck to continue to pay for all the spending, the never-ending debt, until it snaps. Will it snap pretty soon? A lot of people are saying that, so continue to prepare. All right, everybody, we're going to wrap this one up here today. Stay well, stay safe, keep stacking, stay positive, stay prepared. Bye for now.